Boom! And we are back. Welcome, everybody, to TalkdaTalk. My name is John Pappas, and I'm one of your hosts with the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Hanlon. Hey, we want to encourage you to go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and subscribe. And on your podcasting app, subscribe, because we need to hear from you. We need your support. And we want to welcome you to TalkdaTalk, your one-stop shop for all that is in the culture and news. Yeah. What up, Stevie?
Hello.
Steve is back, and we are jacked.
I'm a little sleepy. I didn't have any coffee this morning.
Why is that, Stevie?
I woke up late.
Oh, my gosh. Well, all you have to do is wash your hands, and you'll feel better. You know the mask mandate is off, people.
Not for me.
Not for you?
Nope.
Forever. It's forever mandated to our government. Forever mandated to Dr. Fauci. Follow the science.
I need someone to tell me what to think and what to say.
Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to TalkdaTalk. Hey, guys, guess what? The NCAA tournament is over. And did any of us pick a winner?
Well, not from the first picks we did a month ago, but from last week's pick, I took Baylor.
You did. I
Yes,
took
I
Houston.
did. Mm-hmm.
And you thought I was crazy.
And you were.
But I almost got my UCLA.
That Houston pick was like Crispin Glover in a pair of Speedos. That's how wrong that was.
Wow. That's got some eye candy there in my imagination. Yeah.
I just wanted to throw you a curveball right off the bat.
Right. You didn't waste any time there.
Former Regionite, former Valpo legend, Scott Drew. And his Baylor Bears. For those who don't remember, it's been 20 plus years ago. There's a really good documentary, and I can't remember if it was HBO or ESPN. The coach there before, who I've forgotten his name, there was a murder. One of their players murdered another guy, and then the coach
benched him for a game?
No, he tried to frame the guy who was killed. So he's calling all the players in, telling them what to say to the police.
Wow.
Yeah, and This
was where?
Baylor.
Really?
Yeah, so they needed a clean house, and they hired Scott Drew out of Valpo.
Wow, well, they got a good pick there.
Yeah.
That boy can shoot back in his day.
That was his brother, Bryce.
Oh, same thing.
He was the coach. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, they were called the Crusaders, la, 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 when he was there.
Yeah.
And great job, man. He has turned Baylor into a top 5 national program every year, and he didn't just beat Gonzaga.
That was the story right there. They beat the crap out of Gonzaga. I mean, that guard they had, or was that a shooting guard? I can't remember. But that guard, I can't remember his name off the hand, but man, was he throwing down some.
Oh, they hit their first 5 threes, which that's a good game plan. Hit your first 5 threes. I think they were up 19.
By the way, I know how that feels, but go ahead.
Yeah, when you were guarding me back at at Evangel.
When I was pouring down the rain.
Dude.
You know that song "Let It Rain" from church? It really comes from days on the court.
Yeah, you're lucky they didn't have iPhones in college, because the video of you was 4 guys would be playing defense against 5. You'd be at the other end. Throw me the ball. I want a layup.
No. I'd be through the legs, around the back, through them,
God.
Dunk, throw it off the backboard, dunk.
You played 8 seconds of defense in intramural ball at Evangel.
Are you still talking about me?
I am.
I led the team in defensive steals.
Dear God.
Anyway, There we go. So I was shocked, I got to be honest, that Baylor won the way they won. But do you think that was because UCLA just pounded on Gonzaga, and that was like their real victory? You know what I mean? They overcame that half-court shot.
That was a great game, too. I would say, though, these are young guys. They had 2 days to recover.
I could still go out there and beat them. I don't want to hear about young.
Well, they're 18 to 22. I think there was plenty of time for them to recover, and I think if Gonzaga and Baylor played 10 times, it would go 5-5.
You do.
They were that close, and just on that night, Baylor couldn't miss a shot.
Yeah,
and
that's the most important night. Come on.
The guy from Indiana kept Indiana 1976 undefeated champion.
I knew we were going to hit that. You were
kept
happy
it
about
alive.
that.
I sent a tweet out right after the game that Bobby Knight just peed himself because he's still the last coach of it. And some guy tweeted back that happens every hour.
Because he's that old?
Yeah. So there's no news there, but oh well.
Well,
yeah, congratulations, Baylor.
Is there going to be some NBA players coming off that Baylor team? What do you think?
Probably. I mean, I haven't watched an NBA game, I don't think, in 7 years.
I watched a little bit of that, and there were some guys that could catch and shoot pretty darn quick. Like, I was pretty impressed with how just to catch, shoot straight up without any wasted motion.
Yeah. Yeah, I care so little. The only good thing about the NBA is guys can make a really good living. But do I analyze if, a guy's going to be this or that? Not really. It doesn't matter that much to me.
All right. Well, we got Scott Drew and the Baylor Bulldogs.
Bears. Bulldogs, Bears.
Bears, same thing. Winning it all. And Steve called it. You called it.
Yeah.
Again, you called it more out of like you love IU and hated that.
I like IU. I like Purdue. I don't have a love-hate thing. And the Indiana schools, I like them all. So.
All right. Well, congratulations to Drew and the boys. And we'll see what happens next year. They got any people coming back?
Dude, I don't. I watched the game. I didn't have it.
You weren't checking their age?
No.
All right. I know if I'm getting offered $400 million to go to the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm out.
Oh, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
All right. Well, we got another sort of story coming before us. I guess we can finally get rid of Banjo Boy. So everybody wave bye to Banjo Boy. Thank you for showing up. Ding, ding, ding. And all you who came in Indiana, hope you got some corn-fed beef. And
there's more than corn in Indiana, Johnny.
There is pizza at. Would you say pizza and soda at the?
No, alcohol and pizza at the gas station. That's what we're known for.
Well,
the Jackson 5 too. They're from here.
I don't know if you've seen this story, Steve. Story number 2 of our top stories. We're just going right into it today. Apparently, there's a crisis at the border. Have you heard about that at all?
Well, Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah. I got her cash. Kamala cash.
She was put in charge of the border 3 weeks ago, and she hasn't visited it yet.
No, she's busy.
And what is there a problem down there?
I don't know, but I know there's a guy that went down there and showed some video.
Can we watch?
And I'm wondering where all the... Oh, sure. Here it is. This is my friend Ted.
Please respect. Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the
You
rules,
keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give
American
the
people
people
in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well, no,
dignity
it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and respect
pandemic.
to the people.
Let me ask you, there's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic. Is
Full-hearted,
this respecting the rights of these
full-heartedly,
kids?
I ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
As such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like this.
policies,
That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I ask
senators
you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect
respect.
them, and I want to fix this situation.
We all wanna
and
fix
the
it, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for is
happen anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
am
is
respecting
not
you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
All right.
Wow.
So, we know that this is sort of an older story because it's almost 5 days old now, but that's how fast the news cycle worked. But why is this worth talking about, Steve?
Well, for 4 years, when Orange Man was in the White House, every 7
Man
seconds, we heard that he was a threat to the free press. Right? Oh, And he called them out for being stupid, which they are.
Yeah.
They didn't like that, but he's a threat to the free press. If we had $1 for every time we heard that, we might be able to get out of national debt.
Yeah, and he's a racist because.
Well, let's stay on topic.
Put kids on cages like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's kids on cages right there, by the way.
But actually, last week in a press conference, Joe Biden said he would let the media see the train wreck of these innocent people, most of them, coming in and just being thrown into. What if Trump would have once told the media they couldn't watch something until he said it was okay?
Well, I don't know. That's apple to oranges.
Obviously.
I'm sorry. I hate to make orange.
I mean, it's just absurd. I mean, are we living in East Germany in 1960?
Well, we're heading there. Yeah. I mean,
It's unreal.
Well, how about this? Even the hypocrisy goes further because guess what was announced this week? That they're talking about continuing to build the wall. So here comes Biden telling everybody that everybody's racist, misogynist, and all the other ists. And he's finding that his failed policies aren't working. And I don't think me and you are literally taking a position conservative or liberal here. We're talking about people.
These are human beings, man.
Yeah, and so his policy, this open border policy, which is not good for anybody.
No.
It's not that we don't want people to come in here.
No, listen, the lie of the left is this, that Americans do not want immigrants. That is insanity. We want it legally so we know who is who. That's all. There was a video I saw yesterday, like an 8-year-old boy crying, asking for help.
He was
by himself.
Abandoned by a group that he was with. His parents put him in that group, right?
Well, we don't know. We just know he was alone, starving and extremely thirsty, begging someone for help. And guess what? The guy helped him. We're helping thousands and thousands of people, but we can't just have an open door policy.
So one of the reasons I think this is a great discussion here, Steve, is because the left sort of describes a situation in a certain narrative, and then if you don't agree with that narrative, they call you basically a racist, like they did Trump.
Right.
And then the right basically says Democrats don't care about laws. They don't care about our country. They're trying to destroy, jobs and stuff by allowing these people in. And there's a little
and win elections. That's the other one.
Yeah. And by the way, all the border states were won by less than 20,000 votes. Some of them less than 10 and 15. So this is why that matters, because now we have that new law, which is allowing anybody to vote without ID, right?
Yeah.
So these things matter, but from just a compassionate standpoint, if we don't buy into the narrative, we see that they really don't know what to do down there, and Trump was probably a lot closer, in my opinion, to what should be happening down there. And I don't necessarily... And some people, he's ripping children from their parents. No, he's ripping children out of, banditos who are trying to use children to get into our country, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I saw on the news this morning, there was, a suburban, a SUV full of drugs and several $1 million that they found. I mean... If I would have found $3 million in a car, I don't think I'd be waving the camera. I'd be
right. Yeah.
It's insanity. What's going on?
It's like, okay, raise your hand if you want people to suffer. You know what I mean? No, that's not what we're trying to do. But because of his big mouth and his big mouth against Trump on the political trail, he created this crisis at the border. And anybody who says that Trump caused this isn't watching, or is only watching through a certain lens. And I'm not trying to take Trump's side on anything. I'm just saying he had a better policy at the border.
Well, at the end, it took
a while to get there.
The first couple of years, there was some up and down. But everyone forgets last year during the election, Biden came out of his basement, I think twice. But one of the times he said, "Hey, you're welcome to come."
Yeah.
And what we saw thousands of people wearing "Mr. Biden, let us in" T-shirts.
And the problem
did they buy them at Six Flags? Where'd those T-shirts come from?
Well, the problem with all this is the mainstream media, and it's really freaking hard on both sides to find real news. And me and you were talking about that before we got on the show today. We think we found at least something, but we're not going to endorse that yet until we watch it a little more. But you've got to find somebody. News needs to get back to just news, but if we're going to get opinionated news, let's have a guy from the progressive side and the Republican side who don't care about their narrative, but that care about truth and debate the issue rather than just debate the narrative for purpose of power. Because in the meantime, what we're seeing on this border, in which Ted Cruz is exposing here, and who knows what his motives, but he's exposing that it's not good. It's really not good for kids.
It's awful.
It's brutal for people, and I do think mostly Americans are compassionate. I saw an article this morning, people that are getting over in some parts of Texas where owners of, they have these big landowners, they're finding bodies in fields because if they do get over, they're so wiped out and exhausted and dehydrated and no lack of food that they're just collapsing in people's, and I don't think anybody wants that.
And that's one side of this issue, but the other is, when is Don Lemon going to go after President Biden for telling the press they can't see something until the president says it's ready to go? When is somebody from CNN, MSNBC, WGN, I have to throw them in the way they've been leaning, but calling out the president for not allowing the media in? Senator Cruz, who we ripped a couple weeks ago for what he did, went in, and you had this lady in front of, would not let him show what was going on behind. The few times you could see, you just have bodies wrapped up in aluminum foil.
It looks like a microwave in there. Like it literally looks like a microwave in there. And Don Lemon ain't going down there unless it's a LGBTQIAP issue. And if they were being held in, then he might come. But it's just a narrative.
Yeah, the truth is the truth, and it doesn't matter what your politics are, and our media has forgotten that. The truth is the truth.
I really don't think, if me and you went down there and looked at it, that would change us. You get what I'm saying? We're not going to look through the lens of, wow, I'm a conservative, what are the conservative values concerning these people? It's like, how do we help these people, and how do we make this a place where people can come in legally so they can be helped and partake in the American dream.
Respect the dignity of the people.
Yeah.
Respect the dignity of the people. Where's my cue card?
Yeah.
Respect the dignity of the people.
Please, sir, respect the dignity of the people. Hey, put that aluminum foil on that kid. You know what I mean? Remember back in the old days, when they would show Ethiopia and the big guy would be there with a cookie and they're like, don't feed him yet. We got to get the picture. You know what I mean?
It's insanity.
All right, let's move on. But that's sort of horrifying. We need to pray for these people and pray for our government for sure. Well, I don't know. Speaking of politics, we're not going hardcore politics today, but we are going to talk about the All-Star game. Whee! And there he is. There's Joe, and that's 30 years ago. If you got a picture, if you got on YouTube, you can see that's Joe 30 years ago when he was young.
He went there because he thought they were giving out nachos. What, a baseball game?
And I don't see any people in tinfoil over there. But okay, so I don't know if you want to start. If you want me to start on this.
Okay, last week our president pressured Major League Baseball to move the All-Star game from Atlanta, move it out because they claim the voting right laws were Jim Crow-like. You know what's Jim Crow-like? You have to have a photo ID. That's a lie. People, it's a lie. Asking someone to have a photo ID to vote is not racist. It is not at all.
I think it's actually racist. I think it's actually racist to imply that people can't provide ID. How dumb. What if they won't be able to read their driver's license number and you go, oh, well, then, okay. There's a difference between stupid and racism, right? But let's be honest. I believe in people. I don't care what color. And I do think they can open their wallet with the thing that says DL next to it and read it. You know what I mean? This is just...
Well, and then Rob
Ridiculous.
Manafort, the baseball commissioner, moved the All-Star game
To
Colorado,
yeah.
Denver, where everyone is stoned, and their voting laws are restrictive, more restrictive than Georgia's.
Yes.
It's insanity.
How about this? This was a issue of minorities, right? They're saying we didn't consult the black community on this voting law stuff, and no black senator, or whatever they're saying, which is probably bull crap anyway. But here's the point: Atlanta, Georgia, is 50% black.
And they're going to lose $100 million.
$100 million. They're taking it to a place that is 4% black.
Yeah.
And the restrictions on voting are worse. What does worse mean? Like
you just had to show your ID.
Yeah.
Before you got a bag of pot.
And they only allow like ballots like for 10 days and rather than 15. So the laws and all the laws are better. And if you're going to weigh everything by race, there's less black people. So they're basically. And by the way, the governor's Democrat over there. And in Georgia, he's Republican. Just throwing that out there. So really, it's about bringing wealth to a Democratic state rather than it is about these laws or everything else. So how dumb is this? And I don't think they know what to do. Do you?
They might want to hire somebody in the league office to look these things up before they do something, because nobody looked at the voting laws at both states. Somebody's getting a big payoff. Bottom line.
Don't you think this is what happens when the mob rules? Like,
I don't know if the mob is ruling.
Well, I don't know, man.
There ain't a mob. This is a select group of rich people who think they know everything, telling the mob what to do or what they can do. And I've been saying this since this started. We're on show number 10, dude. Can you believe
I
it?
know. We do.
Double digits.
That's how we roll.
But
like my average in basketball. Go ahead.
Stop interjecting politics into sports. You will kill. I mean, I'm going to get into this in my rant, but people are going to stop watching because they're sick of it. Okay?
I got to be honest. Now, I'm going to interject there. That was my first thought. Like, I stopped. I love. Me and you disagree about the NBA. You like college basketball better. I like NBA better. But I stopped watching the NBA altogether in the last 2 years. I just can't take it anymore. I don't want to see. They have the right to do what they want, right? But I have the right not to watch.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, on the NFL this year, the only game I watched was the Super Bowl. And I think a lot of people did.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
The politics were really heavy the first few weeks. The ratings were so low that I think there was hey, that's enough. And then the ratings rose as the season went on because people weren't getting preached at, every time they just want to sit down and watch a game. It's insanity. And then you throw in the commercials, how left-leaning those are now.
Oh, my gosh.
It's insanity. Just getting preached at all the time. People are going to shut it off. So, Mr. President, this might be a win.
There's no win.
He thinks it is.
You watch how many people are going to watch that game. We're gonna come back to this. I don't know when that game is. It's probably in July.
July, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to remember this, and we're going to see how many people actually watch that game.
Mr. President, this is a baseball game, not a basketball game. Change hats.
Remember when baseball was America's pastime? Now it's a political tool.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to say on that one?
I'll get back to it.
I have more to say too, but that's in my
that's all right.
Scream today. All right, boys and girls, we got one more big story that we thought was a good story. We're going to leave on sort of a positive note, at least for the top story section, right? How about this team called Couts?
The Couts Mustangs.
We're all from Northwest Indiana, so if you're listening, what makes Hoosier basketball just amazing, and if anybody's seen the movie Hoosiers, you're going to know what I'm going to say. But by the way, everybody who ever played basketball should watch Hoosiers. It's probably in the top 2 or 3.
To me, it's the best.
Yeah, top 2 or 3 basketball movies or sports movies ever made.
We were both at Evangel in Springfield, Missouri at that time, and having a brain cramp here, but Hoosiers came out while we were down there, 86, 87, and then a couple weeks.
I was still in high school when it came out. You're old. Just throwing that out there. I remember.
I
can
forget.
remember
What year did you get to Evangel?
I got to Evangel probably in 89.
All right, it was before. But, yeah, Hoosiers came out, and then like 3 weeks later, Indiana won the national championship on key smart shots. So it was a good couple weeks to be from Indiana.
That guy could jump, by the way. Keith Smart. Anyway,
yeah.
So we have this. What makes Indiana basketball is this stuff right here. If anybody knows where Couts is, we happen to live in the area of Couts. I wouldn't say right by it, but
I drove through it once and blinked and didn't know I was there.
It is. I played
it's small.
Just so everybody knows. If you know me, I got drafted and played baseball and that kind of stuff. I remember playing a game at Couts, dude. Left field was the cornfield. It literally was the cornfield.
No fence.
No fence. Like you hit it into the cornfield on a fly. Home run.
Did Shoeless Joe Jackson come out of the corn?
No, he wasn't allowed to play with us.
Oh, okay.
Because we were racist. No, wait. No, he was not. He wasn't an African American guy.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was pretty good though. But anyway, like that tells you anything about Couts. Like it is literally just a few cornfields and a few buildings, really, that I remember.
It's grown a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah, they made it to the Class A state final last Saturday. And when I was a sports writer in Northwest Indiana, I got to know a gentleman named Keith Noost, who has been keeping score of their games for 50 plus years.
Wow.
And his school finally made it to states, and they lost.
He's been watching for 50 years?
No, not watching, keeping the book.
Yeah.
Boys and girls.
Wow.
And
but to know, like, they never get to any sectionals, they never get it just.
Well, no, they won. They've been really good the last few years.
Okay.
A year ago, they were in the last 2 years, 21st Century and Gary was the better team in the sectional.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Couts was still really good. They just couldn't beat 21st Century. So, but they made it. Bar Reeve, another tiny little town on the map.
That one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, it's down.
Is it a southern Indiana?
Oh, wait, yeah, Greene County, I think, but I'm not certain. But small. In 2010, Bowman Academy made it to state, and they played Bar Reeve. And Bowman Academy won, and the Bar Reeve students had the best chant, at least we're Class A, because Bowman Academy, like 21st Century, is a charter school that you can bring in players from anywhere.
Right.
And not saying they're doing anything illegal, it's just different than a small town.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what makes Indiana basketball so amazing, is that teams like this can share in their glory. They're playing in their leagues or whatever, what Class A, not AA or AAA, but
No matter.
kudos to them, man. Like they got number 2, right? They lost to Bar Reeves.
Yep.
Was it a close game? Do you know?
8-10, something like that. I didn't watch it, but
that's an accomplishment, something they'll never forget, and they're going to be heroes for a long time.
And they got to play on the Pacers' home court.
Come on.
Down in Indy.
Come
so
on.
What a thrill! These guys, this will be in their minds and their stories for the rest of their lives. So congratulations, Mustangs.
Do it.
Well done.
Well, way to go.
Are we going to talk Masters?
We got a little Tiger.
Yeah.
How about a little Tiger?
Well, I got to cover Tiger Woods, I think, 4 or 5 times, and what a great American story. Really liked him. Just a gentleman, you know. I mean, he'd kill you on the golf course, or try to anyway.
Used to back in the day. I don't know what happened to that dude.
Yeah, he made some mistakes. Then he had injuries, all that, but he was so kind and nice in the media, answering questions, and I asked him a couple stupid ones, and he didn't laugh at me. You know, he very gentlemanly like. But we all remember not too long ago he was involved in a horrific car crash, and you know, this morning they announced, maybe it had been last night, he was going 80 miles an hour on like a county road on hills, which impacted the crash. And thank God he's alive. I know he messed up his legs pretty bad. I think broke bones in both.
Is he done, you think?
Man, medicine is at such a high level, and the money he has, he's going to be able to pay. Unlike most of us, he'll be able to pay for whatever, I think he'll come back at some point. Whether he'll win again, I don't know. But
yeah,
today,
I sort of feel like he had his last hurrah. But
he won the Masters 2 years ago.
I know, and I rooted for him.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see him. I'd like to see him win one or two more. I still think he's young enough to do it. I just don't know if he's good enough to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll tell you what, I'd never bet against this guy. But, the Masters starts today down in Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, isn't it?
I'm protesting. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you want to talk about how stupid the press is? A reporter actually asked Biden yesterday if he was going to pressure the Masters to be moved out of Georgia.
Starts today.
And he also said it's kind of hard to move a golf course, but that's who we got working in the mainstream media.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
well,
just putting a whole golf course on the back of a semi and driving it to
they could do it, Steve.
Yeah, but an old buddy of ours from Evangel, Scott Poppin, sent me a message on Twitter. He's going to be there this week, and he called it a bucket list thing.
Nice.
So Scotty, you didn't know Scott, but his brother Steve, you did.
I didn't know Steve, yeah.
Scott will be there with, I think the crowd will be pretty good because Georgia's Republicans and they're against the Science.
Yeah, well,
so they'll probably have fans there.
Well, I don't know. Are they Republican anymore? I don't know what they are, but I mean, I just think everybody wants out of their freaking house. I notice it around our city. I mean, people aren't wearing masks. They're hanging out. They're ready to get going again. I don't blame them. They want their kids to play. They want their kids out of their freaking house. I was telling Steve yesterday, I had neighborhood kids over here jumping on the trampoline in the backyard, and they were just laughing, giggling, and it was the best sound of summer. And summer hadn't started yet. But that's what makes it, life, man. We need to be with each other, so stay safe and everything. And I hope there's a huge crowd at Masters. At least it hasn't gone political that I know about, and I don't want to know. I mean, can I have one thing that I like to look at?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. My pick to click is DeChambeau.
DeChambeau.
He hits it like 700 yards. His drives, if he can keep it straight, and I think he's going to. That's my pick.
I'm going Rory.
It's not bad.
He's a grinder, so he'll stay consistent till the end. So he always gives himself a chance.
Yeah. So
I was going to tell you, there's another story I want to bring up, and I don't know if you have an opinion. I don't have a clip for it.
What do you got?
I had a. Do you remember this guy called Lance Armstrong?
Yes, I do.
He's one of the most honest cyclists of all time. But my personal opinion on Lance Armstrong is like our American cheated better than their foreigners. You know what I mean? Like we just cheated better. And it is what it is. I'm not saying cheating is good. I'm just saying we did it better than they did. But today his son got arrested.
For?
He was picking up a 16-year-old girl. And he's getting accused of, what do you call that, sexual, what do you call that, like molestation or whatever, with a minor.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go to douche of the week?
Oh.
It ties right in.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know what's going on.
At least he was.
To work. Yeah, he's got the money to, fix it, I guess, but that ain't good. Okay, let's go to, what are we going to, douche?
Yep.
Here it is. Speaking of
Matt Gaetz, Mr. MAGA hat. But MAGA for him meant make a girl antsy.
Ooh.
This well-connected Republican politician from Florida.
Yeah.
Look at that look on his face.
I swear to God, he was on the Monsters. That's all I'm saying.
Little Eddie?
Yeah, Little Eddie.
Well, he was putting Little Eddie where it shouldn't go.
That's right.
He's been alleged to be a part of a sex ring where he had sex with a 17-year-old. Can you imagine being... it's just so disgusting. Look at this guy. He was on Fox News every 12 seconds for like 5 years. Just ripping people.
When nerds rule the world, you get what I'm saying? And they, they're nerds... Let's just say they aren't not always with the hottest chicks,
Until they get money and power.
Yeah. I mean,
and then he still had to set something up.
That's what I'm saying. He's like anything is something. I don't know, but I mean, I don't want to say that this was a good thing. Obviously, it's not.
Oh, God, no.
It's really bad when like Sean Hannity and all these Trump and all these guys are like, keeping their distance now. So,
yeah, I mean, you'd think he could go to the bar at Applebee's and get some play with someone.
But
no,
some
he can't.
Political banter with an ugly leftist with purple hair or something. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, let's be honest. I think you're more. I mean, we used to talk about this at a banjo, but who are you more likely to get laid with? A person on the left or conservative?
I never had that discussion with you.
We used to talk about like what religion would be easier to date. We had that, but I'm saying it's sort of the same kind of conversation, and I'm saying at least he could pick up a chick with purple hair that calls himself they. You know what I mean? Like, but no.
Looking at that mug, he might need to go. What was the massage parlors that?
With Robbie Zacharias.
Yeah, what was
Bangkok.
the name? Yeah. But again, a Republican getting caught with his pants down, that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, you don't want to get in the moral war there, but like he had a friend that was helping him. Is that what you said? I read
I read, and they were like passing women and girls around, and he'll be in jail soon, as he should be, in my opinion. Like Jimmy, and he was also like the Jimmy Swaggart of conservative politics. He was always pointing his finger at others.
Yeah, I know. He's just everywhere yelling at Liz Cheney because she didn't like Trump.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah, this guy will be gone soon. But, gentlemen, when you're in your 50s, 40s, don't date 17-year-olds. It's pretty simple.
It's a rule. Yeah. And, this guy, I can't take looking at him.
Please get it off. Wait. Take it off.
Take off the douche of the week. Well, we got the 10-second scream. Can I go there?
Let's go.
All right, I got the 10-second scream this week, and if you it is
oh God,
Mitch, or they call him Cocaine Mitch McConnell. There he is, man. Now we've hit all sides of the screen.
Wait, we haven't screamed for 10 yet.
All right, let's go. Don't drink Coke, stay out of politics. So this is my bitch. All right, I shouldn't say that, but sorry for those who we're not supposed to cuss. We're supposed to put our dollar chart. But anyway, this is my complaint against old Cocaine Mitch is that he's sitting there telling Coca-Cola and all these companies in Georgia that got involved with the wokeism of moving the All-Star
voting
game.
thing, yeah,
and the voting thing, and making their political statements to stay out of it or else. And then we find like all of those companies are donating to this moron millions upon millions of dollars. So Cocaine Mitch, shut the heck up. You're a moron. And stop being so hypocritical. All of these companies are donating to candidates.
Both sides. They don't care.
Yeah, I bet you Coke's given to Republicans and Democrats.
Absolutely. They
don't know where things are going to fall. They just want to know. They want to have their say and stuff. And so just shut up.
When you look up in Webster's dictionary, Steve Hanlon's 2-term limit, his picture's there. He's one of the guys. Why 2 terms? Get the hell out of town.
Him and Nancy could just go cheat on each other or cheat with each other. I don't know. Do something. Get out of there. They're just driving everybody nuts.
And they're one of about probably 200 politicians who've been there forever.
Way too long. There's people dying in their seats over there. They just think they're in a. They don't even check them. They're like, is he sleeping or is he voting? I don't know. You know what I mean?
And they'll blame the insurrection of January 6th
right.
if this guy dies in his seat.
Yeah.
The guy with the Viking horns came in and killed him.
With a Nerf gun to his back. Anyway, all right, well, let's not go there. So anyway, this is my 10-second scream guy. I'm ready to get him off. Sick old Cocaine Mitch. Steve, you got a rant this week again.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll to it.
All right.
Here it is. This guy named is...
All right, I'm a Cubs fan.
I'm sorry.
Well, they won in my lifetime, finally, but Javi freaking Baez. This guy sucks so bad. He struck out like 12 times in 4 games.
Slow start?
No, he tries to hit every pitch out. Runners on second and third with 1 out and you need a run to win. He's swinging for the moon every freaking time. This is his contract year.
Ah, there it goes.
Lindor, we talked about last week, just got like $320 million. This guy thinks he'll be lucky to get $10 million for 10 years. He sucks. And it's like
you're going to be loving him by the end of the year.
No, I'm not. He's drove me crazy the last 4 years. 16, he was very good. 17, he was okay. 18 was his best year because he quit trying to hit every ball onto wavelength.
Yeah.
Now that's all he tries to do. And here's something, Javi. Pitchers are smart. They know what you're doing. They're going to throw it a foot outside, and your head's going to be up here, and you're going to be swinging for the fences.
Well, it's only been a week, right?
You think this just happened the last 4 days?
Like, give the guy a break.
He's been doing this for 4 years.
You're not a real Cubs fan.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I just thought I'd say that.
Baseball is my favorite sport. It has been since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of summer. Like you said, just being outside, watching competition. The hardest thing there is to do is to hit a baseball, my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just a great game. And now, because of our president in the Phillies cap, I don't want to watch it anymore because I'm sick of politics ruining a sport, and I'm sick of watching this idiot strike out 4 times a game. So I am teetering. Bro. I am teetering on watching baseball
you gotta
ever
stick
again.
with it, man. Oh, Javi's going to come out. I'm this week he's going to hit 4 home runs.
Well, what's Biden going to do? What's he going to move? Move the All-Star game? Move the All-Star game to Havana?
Maybe. Yeah, someplace where he thinks it's free. A free country.
Culture kings, leave our sports alone.
Preach it, Steve. That's not a cuss word.
No.
It's not a cuss word.
I have tennis elbow.
Again, for the second week in a row. Well, everyone, that was Steve's rant, and I think he's right. You know,
Hobby sucks.
Steve is hardcore Cubs fan. I got to tell you, Steve, and this is a little off topic. I know we're in your rant section. I happened to go to a Sox game. I know that's a
I go to Sox games,
and I got to tell you, I really enjoyed the park. I thought it was an amazing park. I almost, dare I say, enjoyed it better than Wrigley.
And this is just why the taxpayers of Illinois bought a billionaire a park because he threatened to move. So, and this crap happens in every city. Wrigley Field was built by a chewing gum factory. Well, actually, they didn't. The Wrigley's didn't.
I get that there's a little history here, and that somebody got,
If you think Sox Park
is business,
if you think Sox Park is better than Wrigley,
I said
Crispin Glover and a Speedo.
Dude, you could get up and go get a hot dog. You could go shopping.
Oh, you can't at Wrigley?
No, Wrigley is just like, it's just too busy. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Well, that's a true statement. The Sox, you can go there, have 17 people there, and 16 of them are drunk.
Well, okay, so I brought the kids from the neighborhood, and we sat in left field. My only complaint was the sun was right, like when you're looking at the batter from left field, like it was right in your eyes. So if he hit it, you couldn't see jack. So it was almost like being in Guantanamo Bay in World War II. We just didn't know where the bombs were going to drop. But the kids were getting home runs and stuff. It was a blast. And I don't know necessarily you can get in there like that at Wrigley anymore, can you?
Yeah.
Can you really?
I mean, I don't know what with the elf mayor of Chicago. The rules are so insane. I think she went to
the ball in your mask.
She went to Six Flags and she couldn't get on the roller coaster because Wile E. Coyote's paw. She moved her hair up and still couldn't get underneath it, so she couldn't ride the roller coaster. So baseball's getting taken away from us. So.
Oh God!
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Thanks for that rant, man. And we want to say thank you for everyone who's watching Talk to Talk. Do us a favor, go to YouTube and subscribe at Talk to Talk. Go to our Facebook page and like us. And not only subscribe, but ring that bell. Ring my bell. By ringing that bell, and if you want to, leave a comment. It helps us. And if you're on your favorite podcasting app, we're hitting all these platforms for you guys. We're sacrificing ourselves for you people. So subscribe and like us and love us. And we will see you again next week.
Let us not talk falsely now, for the hour is getting late.
You too. Bye.